Welcome to Holding Space. Michael Zen is a visual producer and creative photographer using his imaginative visionary energy to channel Zen and hold space for spiritual and innovative discussion. Each episode creates a supportive, accepting, and open environment that allows exploration and expertise to come together with engaging and entertaining convergence. With guest and community all helping the shape of the way, Michael is grateful to be together to hold space. Now here is your host of Holding Space, Michael Zen.
Yes, here I am, your host, Michael Zen. That means it's Tuesday again. Does it seem like it's coming up quick, like it's Tuesday again, right? Like I'm saying that all of a sudden? To me, it does seem like that. Like I was just here with you guys last Tuesday, but I'm happy to be here. I'm always happy to be here. So I guess I'm glad that it's Tuesday. It's just weird. I remember last year at the beginning of the year being very intentional with time, right? Like it was the end of the year, the previous year, and I was doing the live stream of consciousness, and it seemed like every week it was coming up. Here it is again. Here it is again. Oh my God. It's going so fast. So I intentionally slowed down time, January 2025. And if you tune into some of the episodes, you'll see me actually do it. Like it just didn't seem like it was coming at me rapid fire. I was able to enjoy a week, and then at the end of the week, come back and do another show. And I think summer passed by, and now it's back into this rapid fire thing. There's a lot of stuff going on. I was just actually talking to my guest backstage about the energy that we're going through. And I think part of that can seem like a time shift, like time's going really fast. Maybe sometimes you're going through something that times seems like it's going really slow, but I feel like time's going really fast right now with all of the state of the world, all of the energy that's going on outside of the sacred spiral. Let's talk about the sacred spiral. You are watching Holding Space on the Sacred Spiral Network. I always have to give a great shout out to what the Sacred Spiral Network is, and I'm going to give a shout out to you guys. You are the sacred spiralers, who are always here to enjoy a connection with a psychic medium or a numerology hour, or whatever it might be, ribbon readings, talk about fantastical realms. It's an amazing community with super open minds, and a lot of love, and I can feel it. So thank you guys for showing up. If you are here right now and it's September 30th and on Tuesday at 9:00, type in #live, or even I see from Colorado, we have Abby, I see Evie, I see Tim. Even if you just say hello, like CJ said hello in the comments, that tickles the algorithm and tells the algorithm, hey, there's a community happening, there's conversation happening, something's happening. Maybe I should pay attention to it. Maybe I should put it out into some other feeds and suggest people stop by. So that's how we get new people stopping by and joining the vibe. Brenda's out there saying hello. What's up, Brenda? Good to see you. And I'm not just saying that, by the way. It is really good to see the names popping up in the chat room, the attention, the energy that you guys bring to this moment makes it all happen. I feel the energy, and I kind of, I don't want to say I thrive on it. That's not the right word, but I reflect it back to the world through this platform, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. And then I see Erin out there as well. Shoot, it's Wednesday the 1st, October 1st here. Oh, that's amazing. We are actually the first time traveling show. We are traveling through time. I'm doing the show here on September 30th, and the show already went into the future to October 1st. I love it. I love it. I love the male energy. Oh, excellent. Yeah, there's a lot of female energy on the Sacred Spiral, but it's amazing. I love the amazing energy, the amazing people. As a matter of fact, that's why we're here tonight. And then I have Evie waiting for Sage. I love it. Let me take out Sage before I introduce my next guest. And I was just about to talk about the Sacred Spiral community and my guests and meeting all of these lovely people from the community. But let's do our thing first, right? Let's sonically clear the space, make it a nice, comfortable space for everybody. My trusty steed, Sage. Sage is not a steed. Sage is a singing bowl, and let's all breathe together. Okay, it's the super easy part of the show. It's like an interactive part of the show. You get to breathe with me, and the way I breathe is I breathe in through my nose, like a 4 count, and then I hold it for like a second or two, and then I push it out. So what I'm doing is I'm breathing in love and all of the good things and the light and all of the things that I want in my life. And then when I'm breathing out and I'm pushing out all of the things from the day that I don't need anymore. The moment I got stuck at the red light or somebody cut me off, I don't need that stuff. I don't need to think about it. I need to get rid of it. So let's do that together. And what's up, Dina? I see Deanna from Pennsylvania. So I'm going to hit Sage. I'm going to give you a frequency and we're going to breathe. Let's do it. Breathing in. Push it out. Breathe it in. Push it out. Now, one more time, when you breathe it in, just feel it. Think about it. Feel it coming in, filling up your lungs. And then push out everything you don't need left over from the day. I love it. Another reminder about breathing. So good. Breathing is fundamental. I know they used to say reading is fundamental, but it's breathing that's fundamental. Anyway, thank you guys for indulging me. I don't know if anybody actually participates and breathes and feels better after that. Just give me a little hashtag yeehaw or something like that, because I feel like I just do that by myself and you guys just watch. Oh, no, I enjoyed that. Okay, awesome. There is a purpose. It's reaching somebody. Beautiful. Anyway, all right. I'm now settled. The space is cleared for my next guest. We're going to talk all about her and her show on Sacred Spiral and her evidential mediumship and everything that she's all about, because this space is for her. Welcome to Holding Space, Jennifer Lee.
Hello, Michael.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Okay.
And the answer to your question is yes, I did breathe along with you and Sage, and it's absolutely beautiful. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Yes, it's just a simple reminder, right? Like 3 breaths.
Yes.
And if you do it with intention, when you're done, you're like, wow,
Yeah.
I'm breathing all day and not realizing how awesome it is.
Right. It definitely makes a difference.
Awesome.
Lily, thank you.
Thank you.
And I gotta say hi. Can I say hi really quick?
Oh, absolutely. Please.
Okay. I see him jumping on, so I just want to say hi. I see Aaron is there. Rosalind again. CJ, Lily. Is it Evie? Am I saying that right?
I think it's Evie Kitten. That's how I've been pronouncing it. I realized, it's as long as you intentionally are loving that person.
Right.
If you mispronounce
I see you there. I may not pronounce it correctly, but I see you there. We got Deanna, Sunrise Jesus. Ooh, I like that name.
I love that. Nice.
So I see you guys there. I just wanted to hop on, wanted to say hi. I saw Brenda pop in earlier as well.
Yes.
So,
it's so amazing. I love the energy and just the idea of doing this show for that purpose, right? My intention is to connect
yes.
with the collective and
Yes.
How successful is this? This is awesome. We appreciate you guys being here. It's important. But let's get to know my guest for tonight. Jennifer Lee, I know you have a show on the Sacred Spiral Network.
Yes.
I was talking about the network and all of the amazing energies, and just the fact of when I connected with the network, I was doing a show completely independently, and it just turned into this amazing relationship with Kelly and Jennifer Rose and now you and Suri and all of the amazing energies that have come together to create the Sacred Spiral.
Yeah,
It's
there
just
are a lot of great people on there, and a lot of great shows. I don't get to watch them as often as I would like to, because I would be on there all day, right? But I do try to, thank you, Bethany. I do try to pop on and support, as much as I can. But yeah, some really, really great shows and a really, really great network.
yeah, that's another.
I was so excited that they picked me and Michael up.
Well, you guys are great. No, you guys are great, and I think that
Thank you.
also, that sentiment is one of the other things that's great about the Sacred Spiral Network, is all of the people who have shows hop on to the other people's shows and are in the audience cheering them on, and even when it comes to mediumship, and I want to talk a little bit about this too, because there seems to be a lot of people who are coming into these powers, right, into these connections with energy, and I see psychic mediums going to other psychic mediums and asking for readings, and kind of just because everybody's so unique. Everybody really has their own connection with energy, and their own way of doing it. And I've talked about, I think part of the reason, and I realized I've changed my vernacular, right? I talked about this psychic fetish that I have, which is really, I know so many psychic mediums, and I love being around psychic readings. I don't ever really seek them out for myself. Like, oh, I have questions. I don't have questions, but I love watching people ask questions and being answered and get messages from their loved ones, and just that whole energetic exchange. So rather than saying I have a psychic fetish, I think I'm going to start saying I have a taste for energetic exchange. I have acquired a taste. I'll use some like elegant words. I've acquired a taste for energetic exchange. But it's really something amazing to see, and why I love to hold space for people who've got these just metaphysical connections, and even some of them aren't metaphysical. I talk to actors and musicians, because I feel like those connections are also, really just authentic connections to source, just
Yes,
expressed a different
absolutely.
way.
Yeah, absolutely.
um
I see Michael there. Speaking of Michael, hi, Michael.
oh, what's up, Michael Christopher?
Hey,
Good to see
girl.
you. Awesome. So let's find out a little bit about you, Jennifer, and
Okay.
how did you come into being a medium? Was it
Oh,
something from youth, or is it something new?
well, so we always say hindsight is 2020, right? So I can look back and I can see experiences that I had as a child and in my youth that would indicate, that there was something more going on. However, I didn't really get to explore those honestly until I was I messed around with it a little bit. I was always had an interest in it,
Mhm.
but it was in my late 30s and into my 40s where I really kind of started digging into it. So now I'm going to give away my age, right? But that's okay. Look, it's been a long journey. It's been a long, long road. And so I was aware, I was aware that I had some abilities and just kind of messed around with them. But it actually, for me, is quite a very dark, dark story
Oh,
about how I entered into my mediumship. So I don't go into it a whole lot. I don't like to get
okay.
into the depths of it because it is pretty dark, but I'm going to give you like the condensed version.
Okay, sure. Yeah. And I appreciate that. And you know what? It's I sometimes forget that it can be very personal, you know what I mean? So I probably
Right.
should have discussed that with you
Well,
earlier.
and it's not so much that it's personal. I really don't mind speaking of it. I just
Mhm.
don't enjoy speaking of it in depth on a platform like this unless that's, where we want to go because it is pretty deep. I was involved in a relationship that was very abusive, very
Mhm.
physically abusive, very mentally and emotionally abusive.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
uh and it took an incident. So I'm going to put it that way. It took a pretty horrific incident
Mhm.
uh, for things to start moving, right? For me to actually be able to leave. And even that was a long process. So if you've ever been in a relationship like that, you will understand the complexities of it.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so after that, I really crashed. I was really in a deep, dark place. I had PTSD. I was seeing multiple doctors, multiple therapists, just trying to, you know, to get on my feet. And really, what it took, this is, and This is the crazy story, but this is what it took, Michael. I stayed in an apartment by myself for a year. I rarely left. If I left at night. Like, I mean, I was a mess.
Mm.
My kids spent most of their time with their dad, just because I wasn't able to really even parent at that time. I was a complete wreck.
Wow.
And so what it took was a complete and total breakdown. Complete breakdown. What it took was, you know, I had sleepless nights, end on end on end. And I would cry. So I was in one of those kind of phases. It had been like three nights since I had slept. And I really just broke down. I broke down. I sobbed on the floor on my knees. And I said out loud, if there is anything, oh, and it gives me chills, it makes me emotional. If there's anything bigger than me in this world, show yourself. I need to know. I need to know right now. I said, I don't want to continue living like this. I didn't have self-harm thoughts. I just knew I couldn't live my life in this way anymore, that I needed help. And so I cried, literally cried out loud on my knees. And I begged to be shown. And I said, if you show me a sign, I'm going to follow it. Just, you got to give me something. And so, interestingly enough, 3 hours after that breakdown, and I'm still still sleeping on the living room floor, like I'm still just laying there, right? I get a text on my phone, and it says, it was a job offer, basically. It was a job offer. And it was a job offer at the radio station. I live in a very small town. I knew which radio station it was. It was not actually addressed to me. However, it came to me, and it was a sign, correct? And so I got little tiny self-dressed, and I went to this interview, and I walked away with a job.
Okay, awesome.
I followed that sign, right? I followed it, and I looked miserable when I went in there. No sleep. I mean, just a train wreck.
Right.
But I ended up leaving there with this job. And so that was the sign. That was the sign I needed. I followed it. I didn't care. Didn't matter what I looked like, how crappy I felt. I just knew it was time to start moving and getting forward with my life. Once I did that, and I said to myself, that worked. I asked for a sign. I totally surrendered. I asked for a sign. And then not only did I ask for it, I received it, and then I acted upon it. And that is what started my journey. I started listening, and I thought, okay.
Nice. I love that.
I'm ready for more. But I followed every sign, every single prompt. That is how I got myself off of all of the medications that the doctors were giving me for PTSD.
Wow.
That is how I got myself back into a functioning human being, quite honestly.
Right.
And that is spirit. That is spirit.
Yeah.
And the more I kept asking, and then pretty soon it wasn't just signs. I was hearing, and then I was seeing, and then I was dreaming, right?
Wow.
And it just really escalated really, really quickly through that healing phase for me.
Wow.
So
that's an incredible story. And yeah, I can understand you saying that it's dark, and you know, I think I have heard descriptions of a similar moment, right, in somebody's life where they're just like, I can't take this anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's very dark, and they ask for that sign. And I think what's interesting for me, right, is the way that I look at life is almost like it wasn't that a sign was given to you. It was just you were now at this awareness of it,
right? And
you
I
were
was able to accept it.
Right,
I was willing. That's the thing, right?
Yes,
Instead of going, I don't know who that's for, and it's like slopping my phone. It's like, nobody texted me in months. I was a little hermit in my house,
right,
in my misery.
Yep. And Jules says choosing love over fear has always worked for me.
And yes, I have learned that. Yes, and that is one of the things I had to learn on my healing journey. So thank you Thank you very, very much.
Yes. See,
Um,
and that's kind of when you were, as you were talking and saying, I don't know if I want to tell the story. All I'm thinking about, and really why I do this, right, is because I feel like these conversations are so important, because people feel very isolated when they're going through something
yeah,
so dark. And
yeah,
to know, oh wow, other people go through this, and not only do they go through it, but they come out on the other side
right.
triumphant and
Yeah.
changed and transformed into something better than they were before, right? I mean, how inspirational is that?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
It's been a long journey. It really, really has, and I still struggle with some of the PTSD. It's hard for me to want to be
Sure.
seen. It's hard for, those kind of things. And I think that, it's better. It is so much better. And
Good.
that's what I have to go with. And it gets better every day. It gets better every time I listen to spirit. It gets better every time I sit with spirit. It just continues to get better.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to just relate this to what's going on in my life, right? And kind of, I guess, the frequency and the ideas that have been kind of circulating through my vortex. And that is the idea of creating your own reality. And I think, it can sound really mystical and like, what do you mean? But when it comes down to it, it's really, really simple. And it's really kind of what you did in this story. You were at this point where your reality was not what you wanted it to be, and you needed to change that, and you created your own reality by opening yourself up to what was,
So it's
it sounds like, yeah.
it's interesting that you would say that, Michael, because I'm going through a different kind of creating my own reality now.
Okay, let's
So
hear it.
that was 10 years ago, almost 11 now, right? So I went through that. Now I have reached this point where just what you said, I can create my own reality. And I'm going to go back because we get into patterns and we get into habits, right? We're healed. We're much better than we were. But then I started hearing the voice again. There were
Mhm.
other things I wanted to do with my life. There were other things I wanted to explore, right?
Mhm.
And it was finally time. I felt like I have healed. I have done well. Now I'm going to step out. Now I'm going to go create the life that I want. So
Mhm.
I'm in this transition now again,
Cool.
right? I'm an empty nester this year. So the kids left, right? So
Wow.
it's kind of left me. I'm in the middle of this transition. I left my job. Just now I am trusting spirit. I let me tell you, it's not easy. There are days when I'm like, what are you doing, Jen?
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah, yeah,
doing?
yeah.
I'm
Totally.
trusting. I am trusting that
Yeah.
God has my back. I'm trusting that if I listen to these nudges again, and because these are big nudges, these are life-changing nudges. But if
Mhm.
I listen to these and I have complete faith, I know my testimony is that this will be a good thing for me. So I am creating this new life now as we speak.
I love it. I love it. So how long would you say you've actually considered yourself a medium?
um, 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's pretty significant. So I was saying earlier that, obviously we've been going through this shift for a while. We're now at a point where I don't think we're going through a shift or a shift is coming. I think we are the shift. I think, this generation of people, from the young people who are there now to the older people who are here now, I think we're all a part of this shift, and going to facilitate the changes that need to happen, right? I think it's the only way that it will happen is if we all kind of look inside and make the changes inside ourselves,
Yes.
so that the collective will benefit from that.
Oh,
um
absolutely. Yeah,
so
you can't benefit when we're being our best self.
right, exactly,
I mean,
exactly.
we're putting our best self out into the world, right? So absolutely. It
but
starts.
but well, it's really so. that being said, right? Yes, it sounds great, and well, why would you do anything else, right? But I think that that's actually the issue, is that people don't realize that they're not putting their best selves out, right? And I'm not saying you or I think the Sacred Spiral Network is a great representation of people who are creating their own realities, right? Taking their own gifts, their own perspectives, their own perceptions, and things that they want to say into their own hands, and saying it, getting on a platform and saying it and doing it. And for me, it's been an amazing journey, connecting with so many people with so many different gifts and so many different stories. And again, I guess it's just that energy exchange, right? The way that I look at the world and existence, that everything is energy. I've been able to create my own path in exploring that energy the way that I want to, right? And in a way that seems to be received by others. People show up, right? I met the Sacred Spiral Network and Kelly, and she's like, "Hey, do you want to do a show over here?" So something was right, something was aligning, right? And I think that's the biggest thing in your story and in my story, is just being true to yourself. I think when you're
Absolutely.
true to yourself, the universe opens up and starts to give you those signs and give you those opportunities,
And
to
once you start the process, yeah, like you said, it will open up and the opportunities will come. The other thing that comes though, once you start the process, things start dropping away. And sometimes the way that those things start dropping away is not the most pleasant thing to go through,
nope.
but they have to drop. And it's interesting because I promise you, once you start that process, it's like the universe just knows. And uh,
Yeah.
people, places, situations, thought patterns, all of these things just start falling away.
Mhm.
Uh, and sometimes it seems like a spiral, and it's like, what did I start? What did I do? However, where we have to pay attention to, it's not so much what's falling away, but the opportunities are coming also.
Mhm. Mhm.
I notice that as much
Mhm.
things are falling away, opportunity is coming that is more in alignment. So
Yeah.
there's, you just have to be, it's not all, what do we say? Michael likes to say it's not all unicorns and rainbow farts, or rainbows and unicorn farts. That's how he says it. And
That's
it's not.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. I saw, oh my God, what was it? Was chop wood. It was a saying. It was like, before enlightenment, chop wood, boil water. I don't know what the other thing was. After enlightenment, chop wood, boil water, right? It's like,
Yes,
you know what I mean? It's like,
chop
it's
more wood.
chop more wood, boil water, right? Chop wood better, boil water better.
Yes,
um
it's so much work, but I'm so grateful for like this second kind of, and I call it a second awakening. I don't know if that's really what we call it, but it's kind of this second wave. I'm going to put it that way.
yeah.
It's this second wave. Now I have this knowledge and I have all of this stuff that I've done, right?
Mhm.
And I get to carry that with me into the second wave.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and
I think the second wave. So, and I'm
that's
responding to you, right? I'm just thinking out loud, responding to what you're saying. I think the first wave is again kind of that self-love, finding self-love, being able to love yourself and fully and unconditionally. And I think once you do that, that affects the way that you carry yourself out in public and the way you interact with people. I think that once you do that, then you start to see how your energy and your intentional interactions with people affect them. And you're like, oh, wait a second. I can control things here. I can create my
you
own
can.
reality.
Absolutely.
Exactly that. And
And
that's not,
it's energetic.
and it's all energetic. That's
It's
right.
not where you put yourself physically.
Right.
It is all energetic. It's all energetic. And that's
Absolutely.
the cool thing because
Mhm.
anybody can do it.
Yes.
Anybody can do it. And it's all energetic. I've been learning a lot about that the last couple of years, actually,
Yeah.
like really diving into that, because that's what it is. It's all energetic.
It's amazing. And I have been, and I don't want to bore my audience here, because I've been saying this story for I guess the past couple of weeks, but I've been saying it because I've been feeling like it's that message, right? And exactly what we're talking about here. And I'm just going to boil it down to, when somebody asks you, "Hey, how's it going?" Before you answer and you say, or "hanging in there," think about it for a second. Find something that you're grateful for. Be intentional with your energy and "I'm great. I'm doing awesome." And again, maybe at the beginning it'll take you a second to, "Ooh, I got to think about this for a second," and then you'll give that answer. But eventually that's the answer that's going to come out, because that's where you're going to be. And that's how it was for me. I mean, it was really like being aware of that moment, and both ways, right? When somebody asks you that question, or when you ask somebody else that question, right? And so now occasionally I'll say, "Hey, how's it going?" And they'll be like, "I'm hanging in there." And I'll go like, "Oh, that's not my favorite answer." You know what I mean? And kind of call it out, and let them know, "Oh yeah, you know what, I just gave you that energy."
Michael, he says, I say I'm not unwell.
I'm
Thank
not
you.
unwell.
I
I'm not
guess.
unwell.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
there's that.
You know what, Mike? I'll give you points for that one. That is
Lee-
definitely, you're doing your best. But I guess what I said and the way that I kind of looked back at it, right? Because it was something that I did and went through. I can remember moments where I wasn't feeling great, and I was asked that question, and I wanted to give that answer. So I stopped and I pondered, and I found something I was grateful for, so that I can give that answer and be authentic about it. Like, I wasn't just saying it because I wanted to say I'm great. I was
right.
finding something to be grateful for. And again, and that's another little secret, right? It's like you could have one of these shows and like, "All right, I'm going to give you the secrets. You ready?" Gratitude, number one, right? Authenticity, right? You could just say these things that are so simple. And like you said, everybody can do it. We all have the power to do it. You don't need money. You don't need practice. You know what I mean? You just need to show up and
Yes. Yeah,
have the
absolutely.
intention to do it.
Lily says, she just says she's peachy.
I say just peace.
Hello, Greg. Thank you.
Yes.
Good
Thank
to
you.
see you too.
Good to see you too, Greg. So all right, so let's go back to talking about your mediumship. So
Okay.
you kind of came into listening for the signs, and then
Mhm.
that turned into listening for more than the signs, and now
Yes.
you're getting messages for other people. What was that like? Do you remember the first time you got a message for somebody?
Um, well, yeah, well, not maybe not necessarily. Well, the very, very first time, yes, I do. And that's also kind of a sad story, but
Oh
I
God.
do remember it. But the first message I actually uh, was prompted to deliver to somebody, I remember very, very well, because it was very awkward. And
Mm,
again, it was that trusting of spirit, right? It was like, okay, they're not going to let me down. Not going to tell me this and then let me down.
mhm,
It was a message. Interestingly enough, uh, it was a message for a classmate of mine,
mhm.
and from another classmate that had passed. So it
Oh,
was a whole very kind of strange thing. And
wow.
I remember just getting the message. Now, this is before I learned the boundaries, right? You're asking for the very first message. So this is it. But this is before I learned, okay, I got to put boundaries. I got to,
Mhm,
there's this kind of stuff. So spirit came in very strong with a very specific message, and it was for a classmate of mine. And I was like, I'm not doing it. No.
okay.
I'm going to look absolutely crazy and ridiculous. And I didn't know I didn't know either one of those classmates very well in school.
Hmm,
I knew who
mhm,
they were,
mhm.
but I didn't know much about them. And I just
Okay.
kept thinking, I'm not doing this.
Let
No.
me let me let me ask you a question. I don't want to interrupt your train of thought,
Okay.
but like, I want to know what that
Mhm.
feels like, right? Like, you said I was prompted, right? And now you're saying spirit was telling you to tell. Like, what does that feel like? Is that just like a
Oh my gosh, no, that first message, that first time was it wasn't just a prompting, okay? It was very strong. It was like, you got to tell him. Please tell him this. And I kept hearing it in my head over and
Mhm.
over and over. I kept saying, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm not going to do that. And this is where I was questioning myself, right?
Right.
I probably made it up. I'm not doing it. And it just went back and forth all day. And finally I said, okay, I'm doing it. I'm just doing it. So this will go away. I'm going to do it.
Okay. Okay.
And so I reached out and I sent him a message and I gave him the message. And I promise you that message was so long because I apologized basically for being alive and sending him a weird message.
Hmm.
I didn't know how to deliver it. I didn't know how to explain what was
Understandable.
going on and happening.
Yeah,
But anyway,
understandable.
I sent him this long message and then I waited and I thought, oh, what did you do? Right, I waited. I didn't have to wait very long though before I got the message back with beautiful validation and saying, oh my gosh, Jen, I have thought about this and thought about this, and you have no idea how much I needed to hear this. And I thought, well, really, I do, because all day long. but either way,
Wow.
so that's how I learned to trust spirit in the delivering of messages. And from there, I really started to learn because you can't just be messaging people, right?
Right.
You got to have boundaries with spirit. You have to have boundaries with yourself of when you do your work. And so that's when I really got to work, kind of digging, figuring out, okay, this is happening. Now, what do I do with it? How do I manage it? Because I wasn't afraid of it. I was fascinated. I
Nice. No,
was
that's great. Yeah, yeah.
and
I
I
mean,
still am.
so you were talking about the experience this first time, and I'm glad I asked it because I almost feel like you're saying Spirit was telling me, tell him, and I was saying, no, I'm not going to do it. Right? You or you, but you must have been in your head like, wait, who's telling me to tell him, and
Oh, I was so confused.
who's
I
telling
was
me not?
like,
I'm
I'm
not going
just
to do it.
crazy. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm just crazy.
I can imagine. I
You
can
know, I
totally
just
imagine.
went back and forth with this, like, get out of my head because it wouldn't stop. It was just this back and forth, back and forth. Uh, and actually, I was taking a shower. I can tell you the exact moment I decided I'm going to send the message because I thought, well, I'm going to get in the shower and just like, right.
Yeah.
And it was so just in the shower now, make sure you do it. And I was like, okay, I got out of the shower and I sent the message in my towel. That's how
Wow.
much it was.
And I hear that often that a lot of times messages are coming through in the shower, and I hear that from a lot of different people. That's very interesting.
I thought that would help it kind of go away. I was like, oh my gosh, just
That's
to wash
interesting.
whatever's going on
That's
off,
interesting.
right?
And you know what? It's also interesting to start thinking about the energy of water in that situation.
Yes.
What did that play in the part? I just want to acknowledge a message here that is just trying not to make me emotional, but Mr. Michael, you are one of the few people who I felt really truly understand what unconditional love is. I'm honored to be in your presence.
Oh,
That's just such a I don't even know how to
that's
respond to that, but
beautiful.
thank you for being here. I'm so glad that you're here. Because I wouldn't have heard those words and you wouldn't have been able to say them. So thank you so much for
That's
being here.
absolutely beautiful.
I just I love this audience. I love the energy. So great. And then I also want to acknowledge Sunrise Jesus when you were talking about the first time, his first time. Sunrise Jesus's first time was strong too, and Sunrise Jesus got a message that saved
Your
their
life. I
life.
understand that 100%.
How strong is that? Powerful.
Yes, and that testimony is so beautiful. And I understand that. And you know what? I'm glad you're here with us. I'm glad you got the message.
Totally amazing. And that's I think you probably subscribe to that same philosophy of everything happens the way it's supposed to, the right people show up when they're supposed to, the
Absolutely.
messages show up when they're supposed to. I guess that's all a part of what you said, just trusting, right? That
Yeah.
whatever's happening, you're just going to go with, right? And go with the flow, man. Go with the flow. I am very fortunate. I think that's always been a part of my personality. And I think what's great is that allowed me to kind of see, oh wow, other people are struggling, right, with some like basic things, and
Yeah.
going with the flow is to me a basic thing. But people struggle with that. A lot of people struggle with that, and I think it's through conversations like that, like this, where people are like, oh wait a second, like
Yeah.
I've experienced that. They can relate, just like you said, like,
It's hard
tuning in.
sometimes to go with the flow though,
Yeah.
because, we get used to routine, I think, and we get used to what is known. And so the unknown, it can be a little bit scary.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who said it, but choosing faith over fear every single time, it doesn't have to be scary. It
Right.
really doesn't. It's
Right.
still unknown. And probably 3 or 4 times a day, I'm like, hey, Jen, hello. Right. And then I turn on some music and a dance.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm being ignorant. It's not
Right.
that I'm ignoring
Right.
real life situations and things. I just know that they're going to be okay. I
Yeah.
just know that they're going to be okay. One thing that really helped me when I started this like second wave, I stopped watching television altogether.
Mm.
I don't turn the TV on, and my
Mhm.
scrolling has gone down 70%. I will post, right?
Mhm.
Because I have my page and I have groups. I like to do this. So yes, I do social media, but the mindless scrolling is gone.
Yeah.
Um, I listen to music,
Mhm.
or I sit in silence. I have learned, and I don't just sit there. I'm doing stuff, obviously, but um, I'm learning to enjoy working in silence.
Mhm.
So that is new, and that's creating a whole energetic thing just even in the home itself.
Awesome.
TV on and with just music, like you can feel it. I can feel it changing in me.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I
Yeah.
love it.
That's a huge thing, and it's interesting that you said that, because what was going through my head when you said that, and this is cool for me too, because I'm realizing as we talk and as I have conversations with people, the significance of the things that are going through my head, and my own maybe intuition or whatever. But I feel like there's something about awareness, or just being connected to this energy that we're talking about and that we talk about here on the Sacred Spiral Network, that is opposite of the energy of everything that's going on outside, right? I think
Yeah.
that, like you stopped watching TV and things like that. I feel like there's a conditioning that happens, in society, and a lot of people are conditioned to be so caught up in those energies outside of themselves, comparing themselves to other people, worrying what other people are doing, getting angry at what other people are doing, all of this energy that to me is just spent so horribly. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
yeah, you know,
Absolutely. And so just shutting that off. And it's weird because I thought it'd be really hard. I thought it might be hard. I've always loved Netflix, right? I usually always had a series I'd be watching at night. That
mhm, mhm,
I can tell you that in the last 6 weeks, I went to turn the TV on maybe twice. And
yeah,
as soon as I turned it on, I just felt yuck. I
mm,
didn't even have to see anything yet.
right, right,
Just turned it off.
interesting,
It's
yeah,
just kind of, it's like I'm saying that when you start that journey, this second wave, things fall away.
yeah.
That's been one of them. I've
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're
really
processing things in a different level, for sure.
right.
Yeah. And
So
and I mean, I'll say, I'm kind of similar, right? In that I definitely noticed a difference when I reduced the amount of content I was taking in.
right.
Um, you know what I mean? But
Yes,
but
I
I
do.
am human, and we like to be entertained and kind of, go just shut everything off for a little bit and go
Yeah.
to somewhere else. But I think that, definitely over the last bunch of years, I mean, I used to listen to very, very heavy, aggressive music. And now I go to bed, I put on, 432 hertz, just like binaural tones,
Yeah.
spa music, Alexa play spa music, you know what I mean? And it's just that's the kind of content that I love. And like, even like I used to love horror movies, right? Like really dark stuff.
Oh, I've never been able to watch
And then,
those.
but there was a point, I guess, in my awareness where I was like, I felt the energy of it, and I was like, ooh, I like, this is appealing to me on some primal level, but like on an energetic level, I just don't like the energy of this.
Yeah.
And it's music, and it's movies. Like, you know, when we sit and eat and we turn on Netflix, we put on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is like a comedy. You know, we love to laugh. We love the energy of joy. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just it's intentional. And you know, again, I think that's a part of conditioning that people are unaware of. Like, ooh, I like horror movies, and they just put this stuff on, and it's just vibrations going into them of like this
Yeah.
darkness. You know what I mean? It's, yeah.
So I wanted to look at, Evie wrote, the Fool in Tarot comes to mind. You just have faith.
Yeah.
And absolutely, because that's what the Fool is, right? Just starting out on a journey, not necessarily foolish, but just not always, you know, wise to the ways of the world. So just having faith that everything is going to be okay. All options are open. And yeah, the Fool's just taking whatever road comes along and going with it. Just having faith that he's going to get through that journey.
Absolutely.
And guess what? He does.
Absolutely. That's right.
He
And
ends up
and you know what? Right. And you know what? And then happens is the whole thing starts again.
Yes, exactly.
It's just, you're back at the beginning. Again, I just want to acknowledge Sunrise Jesus, and maybe Sunrise Jesus, we can talk, and maybe we'll have you on the show to talk about this story, the carbon monoxide.
Oh man, yeah, I saw that.
And a voice told me to get out, and I collapsed in the front lawn. That is a great story. Contact me. Let's talk. I'm looking for great stories and great guests for people to hear and to share in and to experience with each other, right? Because even I feel like even when I hear stories that I didn't experience, I get to experience them kind of vicariously, the energy, and I feel like I'm growing, you know, through sharing the stories. You know what I mean? So
Yes,
yeah.
that is a cool story. Also says there was no one in my house. I was alone. Where did that voice come from?
There you go. You said it yourself. Intuition. You heard a voice, and you followed it, and you followed the voice. You know.
Yeah, I can't tell you exactly who that voice was, but it's definitely a divine, energetic impression coming into your mind, so you could hear that voice. Like that's the way it was.
You were listening. You were listening.
Yeah, you were listening, and you acted on what you heard.
Exactly.
And so that's the big thing. It's easy to listen. Sometimes it's really, really hard to act.
Yeah. And but again, like you said, once you experience it, I think a couple of times, and you see the results, you're like, oh, wait a second. I know what I'm supposed to be doing right now when I hear this. That's awesome.
So Jewel, she would like to know how to contact.
Oh, wow. You know what? I will put that up really quick, because I made a banner for you and I forgot to put it up throughout the show, but I was going to talk about contacting you. I'll put up my email address right now, Mr. Z1@AOL.com. Thank you, Jules, for asking. I really do appreciate that. You can contact me here. And Sunrise, I would love for you to reach out also and be a guest on the show. This is a sacred spiral holding space for everybody who's got a piece of the puzzle. We're all little pieces of this big picture.
Yes, we are.
And we all got to fit together somehow. You could be over here and someone else could be over here if you don't really fit together, but you're still part of that same picture. So there you go. And as far as Jennifer Lee goes, Jennifer Lee can be contacted. Nope, I hit the wrong one. Save. Oh my goodness, I'm misproducing right now.
There it is.
And I want to actually scroll that one across the bottom.
And I also I have Facebook. You can follow me just on my profile, or you can join my private group as well.
There you go.
I would love to see you there.
Awesome. And so I know you have a show with Michael Christopher.
Yes.
And you guys talk about a lot of really great stuff. It's not just necessarily readings, which is another thing I love about the Sacred Spiral Network, is the conversations that happen. But I also love the readings. There are so many psychics on there, all with different styles.
Yep.
And sometimes you have shows with 2 or 3 giving readings at once. How are you feeling tonight? Are you energetically up for giving a reading or 2?
Yeah, I don't want to we've only got like 10 minutes, so I don't want to go into full mediumship, but if anybody has any
well, Sunrise was asking if you're doing readings, so
if you've got like a psychic question, I do not do any medical. I don't like to get into like financial stuff, and I can't tell the future. Right. But what I can do, I do have some cards, Mish, for some words of guidance. I could pull one of those for you. So did you have a question, Sunrise?
I think Sunrise does. I have one, yes.
Okay.
So let's let Sunrise ask the question.
Okay.
And then we'll pull a card and we'll give a word of guidance, and then we'll wrap it up. There we go. That sounds like
okay. You want to just ask for a message. Okay. Let me grab some cards. Hang on.
Oh, wait. She says, I do have one, but I'm not sure if it falls in a category. Oh, so you said you don't do medical, and maybe.
You asked something earlier about a job. Did I see you talking about a job or losing a job or getting a new job or something? Is that the question? If the question has to do with the job, I can tell you this. I do feel a new job is coming for you. However, I also feel like it might not a job. Okay. Who asked about the job? Someone asked about a job.
Interesting. Sunrise says it's a trust company, and we were talking a lot about trust tonight. I just love that.
Okay.
Coincidence, right?
You're trying to switch companies. Okay. So, all right. So that's where I was going. When I was saying about a job, I felt like something is going to come up, but it's not going to be the same as what you're doing now. I don't know what that means to you with trying to switch companies. Here's what I can say about the situation. I feel like, okay, you're being trapped in a bad situation and trying to get the hell out. I'm not quite understanding about the trust company and switching companies and the inheritance. I'm not understanding what the question is there. Can you just ask the question, then I'll tell you if I can.
Yeah. It sounds like
change. I do feel that change is coming. I just don't feel that. I feel it's going to look a little bit different than you're expecting it to look. And I hope that makes sense. So, Baradin, it almost feels like there's maybe some tunnel vision, and sometimes we feel like there's only one way, or sometimes we have A to choose from and B to choose from. And because we limit ourselves with A and B, we don't see C and D and E and F. And that's kind of what it feels like to me, is that it may not look exactly. You do have 2. Okay, look for 3 and 4. All right. Broaden your perspective. I promise you there is always a way. We get so stuck in it's got to be this way. There's another way. Okay, that's what I want to tell you and you have that faith. You don't have to really necessarily search for it, because then you'll overthink. I just want you to put it in your awareness and wait for it to come to you. Okay. There is another option, and it will come to you. Okay. Yes. If you feel that you're being abused in any situation, then yes, move. Take it away from them. Move. Whatever you need to do.
Yeah. I feel like Sunrise is telling us exactly what they want to hear, right? Like they know where they're at, right? Like you're aware of being abused.
So it is definitely time to make a move.
Yeah, I can't imagine anybody would
saying to you is that it's scary to make a move. Don't limit your options.
Right.
There's more options than A or B.
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense. I'm going to pull a card for you there it is, from the Angel deck. Oh, interesting. Here's the card. Let go.
Ooh, hold on. Let me. Oh, whoa. Hold on. I
See?
screwed that up. I wanna make
okay.
music. There we go.
Okay, so
Beautiful. There we go. Perfect.
let
Let's
go.
go. Beautiful.
All right, so I'm going to read it to you. It says, I let go of things that I have outgrown. The angels suggest you let go of any dead weight in your life, whether it's a toxic relationship, a job that's no longer fulfilling, or simply some negative thinking patterns. This will make space for positive new things to come into your life. So this is what we were just talking about, right?
Perfect. Wow.
Absolutely. She's shutting her trust company.
Beautiful.
Good for you.
Beautiful.
Good for you.
Amazing. Wow. That you got the right card. That was amazing.
Good for you. Okay, let me scroll up here. And I'm sending you much love. I hope that, I mean, have faith. Just have the faith that this is going to work out for you. Okay?
Yes. I think let's everybody in the chat room
Sending you some
send Sunrise Jesus some love.
prayers and love. Absolutely.
Awesome. Awesome.
Okay, Teresa. I see you up there.
Yes.
I've got the angel deck in my hand, so let's go there.
Beautiful. My sister's going to be so mad. Thanks, guys.
Well, you know.
Sometimes it happens.
It does. Teresa, do you have a daughter changing, or I guess it would be a granddaughter for you, moving schools? I feel something about one of the grandkids on moving schools.
Ooh. I love those little tingles. I love watching.
I don't know what that's about. I can feel something's going on there. Okay, I'm going to pull the card while I'm waiting for your answer. Except they're kind of sticky. They're not moving very quick, Teresa. Come on. All right. Okay, Hope.
Oh.
This card's beautiful, actually. Look.
That is a beautiful card.
Hope is a choice, and I choose to be hopeful. Again, this kind of goes along with what we've been talking about, right? I was just looking to see if Teresa was answering. The angels remind you that without hope, you can't build belief. Your actions are directionless. Your purpose feels like a pipe dream, and true meaning seems unattainable. This is so funny because this is what we have been talking about all day. Okay. Keep that in your awareness, Teresa. I don't know. I feel a switch. I'm just going to leave that there with you. I feel something around the school and a switch. Hope is about recognizing that good things are yet to come and about expecting them to come.
I love that.
So.
I love that. Oh, Jennifer, you're awesome. You're so awesome to talk to. I know there's probably going to, I mean, now that you started pulling cards, people are going to be asking for
But we waited till the last. But I'm going to pull one. How about I just pull one for everybody?
Let's do that.
I'll pull a higher self card. We'll do a collective message before we leave. Hop up here with me and we can both talk about the card. How's that?
Yeah, beautiful. And I love when we've got so much great collective energy in the room. Like that's makes for a good, a good reading, a good card pull. And Teresa says thank you.
You're welcome, Teresa.
Switching sides with you.
Okay. Oh, look, I wanted to go on this side. This card is beautiful.
Oh, wow.
This card is talking. I'm going to read it to you. When you bond with someone in spirit, you both become a greater force for good.
Wow. I'm gonna just take that as a direct. I mean, what did I say? I said when the energy, we all hear the energy of everybody. So that was literally meant for everybody. We've all just bonded with each other and become
Absolutely.
something greater. And I love that. I love
That's
that.
what we were talking about, right? That collective energy being
Love
a
that.
force for good.
Love
So
that.
I love that. We're just going to
Wow.
let that sit right there.
You're a superpower, Jennifer. You just leveled me
Oh,
up.
yeah.
You just leveled me up and the whole audience and the whole show. It's on a new level
Let's
right
do
now.
it again, and let's do it again, and let's do some mediumship. What do you
Awesome.
think?
Awesome. All
We'll do
right.
it again and
You
just
heard it here, folks. Jennifer wants to come back and she wants to read you all. So we're gonna put her on the calendar and we're gonna do some more reading with Jennifer Lee. She's amazing. If you guys have enjoyed this last hour, you can see Jennifer at jenniferleemedium.net at the bottom of the screen. If you have a good story and you want to share it and you feel like this might be the platform for you, reach out to me. My email is mrz1@aol.com. Yes, I have an AOL address, but here's the thing. I have not had to change my email address
in
ever.
forever.
I have other email addresses, but I love having my AOL address, so that's where
And
I do most of my business.
can I say something really quick?
Absolutely. I was going to actually ask
Mike,
you.
Christopher, and I will be live tomorrow, and we'll be doing readings
Awesome.
in the morning at 11 Central, right here on Sacred Spiral.
Network.
Yeah.
Awesome.
This
Yes,
will be in the morning.
definitely catch Jennifer and Michael's show, and just come back to the Sacred Spiral Network over and over because it's just a great place to be. So, and Michelle saying thank you, Jennifer. Thanks, Michael, and thank you, Mish, for being here. Jennifer, do you have any words of wisdom, any words of love? And of course, I always ask maybe a dad joke. I don't know.
Maybe dad. I don't have any dad jokes.
No dad jokes. Okay.
I don't have any dad jokes. Really though, and I want to leave everyone with this. First of all, thank you for being here. I see some people on here that I know have been with me for a very long time, have followed me and have watched me for a very long time. And I appreciate every bit of that. What I want to say to you, just really quick as a collective message, since we were talking about energy, there's a lot going on right now, right? I know, Michael, you're talking about things speeding up and going fast and just a lot of kind of chaotic energy in the world right now. So if there's anything I could say to you, I would encourage you. Michael was talking about breath with his beautiful bowl sage, is just to take some breaths. Everything is going to be okay. Breathe your way through it. Even if all you have is time for those 2 breaths or 1 breath, take that time, breathe through it. Everything's going to be okay. That's what I want to say. Have faith, walk in faith, live in love, and everything is going to be okay.
Perfect.
That's it.
Those are my favorite words of wisdom right there. So thank you for nailing it on the head. So if you don't mind, don't go away. So I'd love to talk to you after. But I do gotta play the outro credits. Thank you guys so much for being here. As always, on Thursday, I do have Jesse Blaze Snyder, who just put out the solfeggio frequencies. He put out a CD of 11. They're kind of like rock and roll tracks, but they're all tuned to the solfeggio frequencies. And so he'll be talking about that on the live stream of consciousness. And I will see all of you guys next week or there. Wherever I see you next, we'll see you. Peace.